Welcome to day 4 of Journey to Jacked. Today we will be talking about exercises, specifically what exercises you want to do and what exercises you don't want to do. It sounds simple, but there is a lot of complexity that comes with it because you should be doing the most optimal exercises to get the most optimal growth. I filmed a video yesterday, but my PC graciously deleted it off of the software system. So yeah, here's the new video, but it's like same principles. I'm just gonna be going over it, kind of summarizing it, because I just did an entire video. So without further ado, let's get into it. So a quick recap to what we talked about last week was committing to the process. We talked about structuring your workouts, and this video will also build off of that, mainly like what exercises you want to do off of that, and then training with effort, the importance of training with effort. You're probably wondering, Joey, working out is all about building muscle. Why can't we do mainly a lot of exercises and still build muscle? The short answer is you still will build muscle. It's just what is the most optimal for you to build muscle? Wouldn't you want to do it the best way possible, right? So, to begin, let's talk about free weights. The thing with free weights, guys, is that free weights rely on gravity. That is the main principle of free weights. Why is this important? Because the tension on your muscles are only at a certain point. For example, if you're doing lateral raises, dumbbell lateral raises, the tension lies on my traps right now. If I'm holding the dumbbells like this, the tension lies on my traps. And as I go up, hitting the desk, as I go up, the tension moves to my shoulders. So it's traps to shoulders. Why is that important? Because you want the most tension on the muscle group you're hitting the entire movement. For the full range of motion, you want the tension lying on the shoulders. So when it's on the traps and then it goes to shoulders, that may not be the most optimal. It is also scientifically proven that the muscles grow most under the stress position. So when tension is on the stress position the most, let's say you're doing bicep curls, most of the muscle growth happens in this position where the muscle is the most stretched. So that's why it's also important, like I said earlier with free weights, that you want to be finding movements that have tension throughout the entire movement. However, you still want to be doing free weights. We will get into that later, but that is the main thing behind free weights, is that it relies on gravity. So tension's always going to be going downward. So it's still good. I still do them, but that is one thing you want to keep in mind, especially for some specific exercises, that gravity is only going down, right? So it's not, you're not going to get the tension throughout the entire movement for some exercises that you would be doing free weights with. And that leads us into the next thing, which is cables. What are cables? Why are they so different than free weights? Well, cables, you can literally kind of change the gravity that you want. So you choose where tension lies. You can move the cable up and down and depict where you want the tension to be pulling from. Why is this good? Because on cable lateral raises, you can move the cable up to about waist level, and instead of the tension being on your traps, you will have the tension on your shoulders throughout the entire movement, which is one of the main reasons for most optimal growth, is having tension throughout the entire range of motion. And the last form of movement is machines. The thing behind machines that makes them very good is that you are locked in place. The movement that you're performing is locked in place. So you do not have to worry as much on stability and control of the movement, because all you need to worry about is performing the motion that is set for you. This is so good because it kind of isolates your muscles. For instance, if you're doing a chest press movement, it has a set pathway for you. So you are literally just focusing on using your pectoral muscles to push the weight instead of stabilizing. You still stabilize to some extent, but not as much as you would with free weights, which is really good. However, and this is a big however, the reason we want to be doing a little bit of each world is because, and I've seen this many times before, people who have done machines their entire life, when they go to do a free weight movement like barbell or dumbbell, they are shaky and unsteady. They are unstable because the thing with machines is that you are locked in place, so you're just performing the movement. With free weights, you actually have to stabilize and get more of your stabilizer muscles in place. So now we know the pros and cons of each specific exercise, whether it's free weights, cables, or machines. The main thing I want you guys to get from this is that you need to be doing a little bit of each movement, because there is issues that come with doing a specific movement, and you won't be receiving the most optimal muscle growth from doing a specific movement alone. So yeah, that's what I want you to take away. Now let's get into specific exercises that you want to avoid. I have this little guide to go by that I use, and it's essentially to figure out what exercises may not be optimal and what exercises are more optimal than others. So, number one, I always go with, does it complete the full range of motion? All right, a specific exercise I want to call out. This is ridiculous. It's the hex press. We're holding a plate right here, for those of you who don't know, and you're just pushing it out. That doesn't work the middle of your chest, okay? That is just stupid, right? You're not completing full range of motion, because full range of motion would be all the way back, having your muscles in a stress position, and that's where I get to number two. Is the movement performing your muscles in a stretched position? Is there weight loaded under the stress position of your muscles? So hex press also doesn't do that, because it is my chest stretched right now? No, it's not. So that is not optimal, because this movement doesn't complete full range of motion and isn't having my chest under a stress position with loaded weight. And that leads me to number three. Can you progress easy on it? Like we talked about before, progressive overload is a main factor. So you guys should be doing that, by the way. A little checkup. If you're not doing progressive overload, adding weight or reps every week, you are missing out big time. You need to be doing that. So hex press, it doesn't do that, guys. You maybe start with like a 45. What are you gonna do after that? Put 3 plates together, holding it like this? No, you can't do that. So stop doing hex press if you haven't gotten that signal already. Like, that's such a bad exercise. I can call out another one, Arnold press. Turning it, whatever you do, like you do a shoulder press and then like turn it inward, that does nothing. All right, this movement of turning it inward does nothing, and it's scientifically proven. So stop doing specific exercises like that. Follow the guide, and always do a background check before doing an exercise you maybe found online or on TikTok, because it might not be the most optimal, right? You mainly want to be sticking with exercises that are like most common, that you see everywhere, because they're common for a reason, right? They are the most optimal for growth. But always do a background check. Make sure that they are the most optimal and follow like the 3 things I've listed. But like I said, you want to get a little bit of each. Just find the most optimal movements within those 3 movements that you can perform. Like for instance, I really like to do incline dumbbell press on free weights, right? It has it in the stretch position. You're performing full range of motion, and you can progress easily. Three boxes checked right there. So make sure you are following that guide, just finding the best for each specific motion. To summarize what's been said so far, you mainly want to be getting a little bit movements from each category of exercises. There's not one that you should neglect or one that you should do more. They all have their role and their part, and you also shouldn't be doing exercises that don't follow the three main things that I follow, which are that it completes a full range of motion, it has tension under the stretch position, and you can progress easily on it. So follow those three things and do background checks on the movements that you perform. And also, one of the main things is switching up your workouts a lot, because doing the same movements every time, your body might get used to that and not, progress as much as you want. So make sure you're switching it up. One week I might do dumbbell lateral raises, and the next week I'm doing cables. So yeah, just it's all about switching it up, understanding what movements are better than others, and performing those movements. So yeah, that's going to conclude today's video. Kind of a short video today, but I did do a video earlier and it got deleted. So yeah, follow the TikTok JLifts and subscribe, like, follow for more content. You guys have a good one. Stay jacked.